Hey YouTube, it's us with ASM Auto, back with another tool haul, and it's gonna be a good one. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, I doubled, I tripled, I quadrupled down on the Craftsman V series. I got some new old stock that I'm pretty excited about. I got some all black screwdrivers from Lowe's, courtesy of Klein. And I picked up some Icon and some random things back there, and we're gonna go over everything. All right, first up, unless you've been living under a rock, everyone knows that Lowe's is having this crazy sale on Craftsman V series. I kind of jumped the gun and ordered these, paid shipping, and realized they keep releasing more and more and more. It wouldn't have been a problem to get them. But anyway, this is the metric set. It's the metric reversible ratcheting wrench set. So as you can see, it's got 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 19. Obviously, it's got a couple skips here and there. But, you know, for $30, when these things, I actually got the SAEs, and I paid retail for them. Whoops, wrong drawer. Which are right there. Paid retail for those. And I think they were like, well, with a coupon, it was like, I don't know, around $67 or something. Yeah, but $30 a set for these bad boys. I would definitely pick them up. Very worth it. As you can see, they're gorgeous. They're probably identical to the Max, I would guess, but they are just awesome reversible ratcheting wrenches. And they come in that really cool, Max style case. And then next, I picked this up. This is a 1/4 inch set. It's kind of a little bit like the Icon set. It has a standard ratchet, but that doubles as a bit ratchet because it actually comes with a bit adapter. Then it comes with pretty much like a full set of 1/4 inch metric sockets. The retention is, oh boy, really good. It's even hard to pull out with just one hand while you're holding the camera. But yeah, the sockets are gorgeous. The ratchet is cool. You know, basically it's the V series ratchet. This guy right here, your spinner handle is really awesome. It does not have an open end, but just a really great handle. It's the same one on it's probably made in France. It's the same one on their screwdriver series, which we're gonna get to. This universal joint is nice and tight, well done. Extensions are nice. You know, the engraving is awesome. The bits are pretty nice. They seem pretty generic. They're all S2 though, you know, good quality. So yeah, just an amazing set. And I don't know if you can see it, but check out the finish on these sockets. Like, look at that taper. You see that taper there? It's like totally smooth. And then on the larger sockets, there's typically like a cutout at the bottom. And the chamfer on it is really well done. So just really nice sockets. Let me see if I can get one to come free. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I think on the 1/4 inch, it just has this line at the bottom. Maybe it indicates metric. But I'll show you the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch as well. We'll get into that. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful sockets. Really nice sockets. And these ratchets are great. I've owned a 1/2 inch for a while. Actually, I brought it to work. It was a gift, and I showed it off in another video. And then what I ended up doing, I'm kind of like jumping ahead here, but I ended up getting the 3-piece ratchet set, and I actually gave my 1/2 inch ratchet to a junior tech. It was a good excuse to pick up the whole set because I really did like it. All right, so the next thing, this is kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So the next thing is these, basically your zero offset, extra long wrenches have a ratcheting box end with a flex head, which is really cool. The fixed end is actually a 6-point, so it's a hex rather than a 12-point, which honestly I don't think that's that big of a deal because you're only going to use that end to break things free. And then this end, obviously, excellent ratcheting mechanism, really cool. Really cool finish on these. Like, can you see that on the side? So it's kind of like the inverse of the old Craftsman wrenches. It actually has a cutout, an inverted cutout down the center, but super comfortable. I mean, these, in my opinion, like, these might be the nicest wrenches I own, period. I don't care what the brand is. I don't care where it's made. These things are incredible, and they're like 50 bucks. Just buy a set. Now, they do skip sizes, important sizes. Does this say? Oh yeah, there. Can you see that? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No 15 or a 16 or an 18. But for $50, like, if you wanted a single snap-on version similar to these, you'd probably spend like $80 on a single wrench. And it doesn't get much better no matter where you go. They're just, you can't beat that price. They're worth a heck of a lot more than that. They're some of the nicest wrenches I've ever seen, period. All right, next up, these screwdrivers are freaking awesome. The reason I actually bought this set, I'm gonna keep it in my office at work, but the reason I bought it is because it has, so the 3/8 is pretty large. That's not that rare though, but what it has is a Phillips 4. It actually goes from 1 to 4. And these are made in France, super nice, you know, by Facom, as everyone knows. I think most of the stuff might be Facom. Oh, that's right, I gotta go back. I'm jumping ahead and then forgetting to cover things. So, yeah, so really nice, incredibly nice screwdrivers, really solid. I do wish they had the hex pulsar on all of them, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I don't use it that often on Phillips too. There's lots of options these days for breaking compromised, you know, fast or Loctited fasteners loose. So the fact that it comes with the Phillips 4, and if you're gonna buy a Phillips 4, typically you're gonna pay at least $20 for one, and it's probably not gonna be great quality at $20. If you want a professional grade one, you're gonna pay a lot more. This entire set was $20, and I would consider this professional grade. So basically for one Phillips 4, I got an entire set, which I'll keep in my office. So next up are the ratchets. You've already seen the 1/2 inch. These are also incredibly awesome, in my opinion. Great flex heads, nice and tight. Great mechanisms, nice and smooth, 96 teeth. These two are gonna go home with me. This one's gonna replace the one I gave away in my box. All right, next up is these I just had to do. So I did not own any shallow, or I do have some deep metric chrome 1/2 inch sockets, but most of my stuff are impacts. So I didn't really own that much chrome in 1/2 inch, but these were $20 a piece. So how could you not pick them up? So this is the metric set, and it goes all the way to 24 with like no skips. I think it's 12 to 24, no skips. Who the heck needs a 10 1/2 inch anyway? So that's the metric set, and it comes on this awesome magnetic rail. And then the SAE set's pretty much the same deal. You know, they pretty much all look the same. I think the rails is just a different color. Let me see the list of sizes in here. It's on here somewhere. Oh, there we go. It's on the bottom. Okay, let's flip that around. So there you go. 13, 14, 56. Yep, so no skips there. Even the weird sizes. That's really cool, through 24. So I finally own some 1/2 inch chrome sockets, at least in shallow. Like I said, I had a few random ones in deep. And then the SAE set, which I definitely am more sparse with, or barren or sparse with these, 3/8 to 1 1/8. So it goes up to a pretty nice, decent size. And again, $20 a piece. How can you beat these? And they look really, I mean, I haven't even taken these out, but I've looked at them. Look at that. Look at just the way they're made. They look awesome. Like the engraving is awesome. Everything about them just screams high quality. $20, how could you go wrong? Get this stuff, just get it. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. This is probably the coolest case of all. I definitely want to show this off. And it seems like it kind of retains everything a little bit better. I mean, that case retains things good. It's just the ratchet kind of moves around a little bit, but not a big deal. Oh, this is a 2-hander. Hold on a second. Give me a second. All right, so this is what it looks like on the inside. You've got a comfort handle 3/8. You've got these beautiful 3/8 sockets. They actually have protective coating on the inside, like the old school USA SK. You actually have some and I can say they're very nice. They are very nice. Locking extensions, better than gear wrench or anything else I've seen not made in USA. And again, I didn't mention this with a 1/2 inch, but look at the chamfer on these, just the way they did things. And then also the cutout at the bottom. This retention system's really nice too. Like, look at that. It's just the transitions are so smooth. They really busted their butt on these sets. It's incredible what they're selling for right now. Some of the best deals I've ever seen. And as people have already mentioned, what's kind of cool about this case is the extension doubles as the handle. So, and it has all these cutouts. I'm not really sure why. I guess you could like use the whole case as like a giant funky T handle or something. I don't know, but it just adds to it. It looks European, like something, something those French would do. But anyway, it's super cool case. Just like all of these V-Series cases, very similar to the Max. So cool. All right, so moving on from V-Series, we're going old school Craftsman now. There was somebody on eBay, I think they were clearancing out like an old hardware store, and they had the original Craftsman Professionals in there, like the ones made by SK, unused, like brand new. So I picked up a 10. I'd love to eventually complete my set, but for the time being, I found the new old stock. I got the 10, and they also sent me the 13, which is also somewhere in here in this packaging. I think on the other side. Yeah, and I mean, these are brand new. I had to scrape off the little labels. Yeah, very nice. So, Craftsman Professional USA. I've always wanted the SK version. The newer version, and I should mention this in the video, the way you tell the difference between SK and the Armstrong, the newer version, the Professionals, is on the box end. You see that long kind of transition from from the bar to the box end. So on the Armstrong version, that's going to be more like a traditional. That's going to be more like a traditional wrench. It's not going to have that long transition on the offset. It's going to be more like pretty much any wrench you see today, like kind of like an immediate transition on the offset. But anyway, that's how you tell. They should look like this. Not so much. Let's see. Grab an SE. I have SE stuff over here, which I don't use very often. So for example, you can see, take the lid off of this. So here's like some SE snap-on wrenches. It's hard to, this is how, I keep the lids because I like to, I don't know. It's like protection against, not that I really have rust. I'm just anal, that's why. Kind of stupid sometimes. But I tend to keep the lids anyway, It's my prerogative. But yeah, see, that's like a more traditional, that's what most box end wrenches look like compared to this. See, so it's really easy to tell which one is like I said, the Armstrong version is going to look like this, and then SKs look like that. So it's really easy to tell which version of Craftsman Professional it is. And I just prefer, I'm a fan of old school SK. Come on, fucker. Yeah, and this is kind of like what I have for 1/2-inch chrome. Like I've got a few deeps, before I got those Craftsman V-Series, and I've got some of the larger, basically just to cover a weird size. And then there's some chromes over here to cover missing sizes. The rest of those are all impacts. The shallow ones are like those Astro Pneumatic, super shallow. And then these regular ones are a mix between, I think, gear wrench and just random stuff. Like this is that's a Tecton. That's Napa Performance Tools. They don't get used very often. I use the deeps a lot more, which I keep over in my main box. Oh my, I love it when a plan comes together. Oh man, you can't plan this any better. It wasn't planned. But look at that. Right next to the Mac. How cool is that? All right, moving on. What could possibly be in here? Let's just say it was another eBay purchase from, I think it was like a hardware store or something. These things were sitting on a shelf for like 30 years, and they are brand spanking new. They look brand new. I'm kind of excited about this. This is something I've always wanted to own. Let me get it out of the packaging. Hey, it's just a basic set of gear wrenches, right? What's so special about that? You might ask. Well, I'll tell you what's so special about it. This set of gear wrenches, let's see, 2019, 20. It's like 25 years old. Manufactured in Taiwan for Danaher, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So this is actually a new super old stock, totally perfect in like every way, the packaging and the wrenches, set of original gear wrenches made in Taiwan. The patent little thing on there, everything. I've always wanted a set of these for collection purposes. I don't know if I'll ever take it out of the packaging, but yeah, I was just really glad to pick these up. I think I paid like $25 for this set. I couldn't believe the condition. I mean, it's never been open. Look at that. That tab is not broken. That thing is still on the try me post. But yeah, this is what you want to look for if you're a collector of gear wrench and you want the original Taiwan gear wrenches. Make sure it says manufactured in Taiwan, Republic of China for Danaher Tool Group, $19.99 on this one. So a lot of the ones you'll see for sale might look kind of like this. Probably different color packaging, but they're going to say China. So this wasn't long before I think they switched over to China. But anyway, that's a complete set, mint condition. It'll never leave my collection. All right, so the next up thing is currently a deal at Lowe's. And I got this from, I used to be in HVAC construction, like I started out there. I didn't stay there for a long time, but I kind of, I've always had an affinity for Klein tools. Also, my great uncle, in addition to being a mechanic, he was also an electrician. And so because of my early work and my uncle, I've developed a strong affinity for Klein tools. So I kind of like collecting some of their, limited edition stuff. Like, for example, this is actually available right now at Lowe's for $30. It's an all black screwdriver set. And it's really cool. Like, it's got the lettering on the outside. Everything's black. The shaft, I'm not sure what you call that. It's not the bolster, is it? I'm not sure. But anyway, this part, and then the handle, which is always black. So typically these are, yellow, and then this is like chrome. And as you can see, it's made in USA. So yeah, you can get these for $30. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to open that one either. So 3 years ago, just for comparison purposes, I was able to grab these. These are the American Legacy screwdrivers. You still see some of the pliers around, but you don't really see too many of the screwdrivers. But I think, anyone who knows Klein tools knows that their products are incredibly well made. So I would definitely pick up a set of these, even if you're not going to collect it. If you're going to use it, just grab a set. Made in USA. You can't beat the quality of Klein tools. All right, next up. So for a while now, I've had these Carlisle, this is SAE stuff. I've had these Carlisle universal sockets, and they're fine. They're not that bad. They're actually not loose. They don't not floppy or anything. But they're 12-point, and I've had issues trying to use them. Mostly because they're 12-point, but also it's just, I'm kind of spoiled because on the metric side, I've got this snap-on set. I don't have the other sizes. I just have the smaller set, but these are just awesome. They're nice and tight. The pins are welded. They never loosen up. So I'm a little bit spoiled just because of how dang good these work. So I wanted to upgrade my SAE set, but there's no way in heck I was going to pay snap-on prices. So I grabbed this Icon set from Harbor Freight, actually earlier today, and they were nice enough to allow me to open them up and kind of test it out before I bought it to make sure they're all tight. Give me a second to get it out of the packaging. Okay, so in theory, these would be the same size. You can just see how awesome the snap-on ones are. Like, they're worth every penny. They're definitely, and I would say, for the most part, in my experience, they're the only universal joint sockets I would ever buy. I like the impact swivels, and you can get those. I mean, they all work like, they all work well. Like, even the cheaper end, the lower end ones, like the Taiwan Sun X. But these icons are also, the pin is also welded. Now again, it's not a copy. I think if it looked like the Snap-on, it would cost a heck of a lot more money, and they might have to make it in America. But these are made in Taiwan, but they are very nice. And I checked the joint on all these to make sure it wasn't loose. They're all pretty tight. So I'm hoping these are gonna be easier to use than those Carlisles. On the rare occasion that I do SAE, I used a coupon on it to make it a little more affordable. It came in around $50. For the rare occasion I use them, I think it was a good investment. All right. So then also because Harbor Freight was running this like Icon, like automotive toolkit coupon, I picked up this serpentine belt tool. I do have the gear wrench version, but I'll show you what I like about this, which is different from the gear wrench. Which I'm not going to pull out right now because it's in the bottom of one of my toolbox drawers. So let's just put this guy over here for the time being. Hopefully it doesn't fall off while I'm doing this. But, a little foam thing. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I think we're good. So what I liked about it is like the handle, because the ratcheting end is actually on the handle. And this has one of those, it's got an external pawl. And then it has like a little switch to switch back and forth. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember the right ratchet I showed you that they use in like war zones and like sandy and desert environments because it doesn't bind up. It's kind of the same mechanism here. It's got a ratcheting mechanism on the outside and a little switch to reverse directions. Then it comes with a nice set of stubby sockets, the crow's feet, adapters, and then this adapter right here. But the main reason is because I like the fact that the ratcheting end is on the handle side, and it's also very long. So it kind of like, it's kind of an alternative to the gear wrench. I think, you know, when you're talking about trying to be efficient and being a modern auto repair shop, I think there's times when this is going to work better than the gear wrench, and there's times when the gear wrench version will work better than this. So it's nice to have both. At least that's what I tell myself. All right. You know, I think in most cases you can make either one work, but all right. And then this is kind of, it's self-explanatory. You know, it's just a set of the Torx the Torx T handles. I haven't owned any of the T handles. I really just feel like I can just use a ratchet and a socket, and these things take up a lot of space in the drawer. The reason I bought these is because I ran into a situation the other day when I basically had to make an extra long T handle out of like an extension and a long Torx bit to change a light bulb in a what was it now? An Audi. I think it was like a 2013 Audi, and it was one of the bulbs in like the rear bumper. And you have to stick a Torx up in there, and you have to stick it really far. So if I had one of these, it would have been a lot easier. So that's kind of why I invested in it. I just figured because of the length on these, they're going to work in situations where even my long Torx bits that I can put in my impact driver don't work, or you know, screw gun don't work. So that's why I picked this guy up. You know, nothing fancy. A lot cheaper than the Snap-on. But the Snap-on's made, I think if the Snap-on was made in USA, I might have ponied up for it, but it's made in Spain. This is Taiwan, S2 steel. It's good stuff. And I actually think I like this handle a little bit better than the newer Snap-on handles, just looking at them. But I don't know. I haven't tried that out. Anyway, I also found this on Amazon. It's a 10-piece pack of the Starrett. These are the Starrett hacksaw blades. So I actually have a little hacksaw blade, or I have a little hacksaw that I inherited. It's like an old school Stanley from my great uncle. I'll show it to you. What the heck? I think it's down here. No, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this guy right here. So I found myself in a situation the other day when I needed to use a handsaw. Like nothing else would have worked. And so I remembered I had this at home. This is like an ancient blade. And basically, I think my uncle just cut this in half. So you can make it any length you want. But in replacing the blade, I wanted to find something nice. And I was looking around, and I noticed that everything is kind of like the same price. But including these Starretts, which are supposed to be these guys right here, these Starretts. This is like $10, I think, for 10 of them. Like, so what, $1 a piece or something? It might have been 20, but regardless, even at $2 a piece, you can't beat Starrett quality. Now, these are made in Brazil, not the United States, but they have incredible reviews, and they're about the same price as everyone else. So I think that was a no-brainer. Still a big fan of Starrett. Then a couple other minor things as we wrap this tool haul up. This is a new Matco tool in the flyer. It's magnetic on the back. You know, basically it's your plastic pry tool. So this is kind of nice for, you know, prying certain things out. But mainly I like the wedge side. The wedge seemed pretty useful to me. So I got my dealer to order one in blue. And then this guy right here, I'm not sure how many people have seen this, but it's the Ulsa Tools version of the electrical disconnect pliers. And I just thought the angle looked kind of interesting. It's made in Taiwan, you know, typical lifetime warranty, all that. Made in Taiwan. Seemed to be very nice. Lines up properly. That was my one complaint with the, and I don't think this is intentional. I think it was just a bad, manufacturer process. But like these two don't quite line up right on these. Now these tips are interchangeable. This is KTC. This is the version with like interchangeable tips. But the fact that they're slightly offset, I thought maybe that was intentional for like a particular type of electrical connector. But that offset always tends to be a little bit of a hassle. So I'm not so sure that it was actually intentional. The other ones don't seem to do that in the set. So I'm not sure. I don't know if they're all like that or not. I just figured, I saw these, I figured I'd give them a try because I haven't seen anyone mention these yet, these Ulsa Tools electrical disconnect pliers. I don't know the part number. You can definitely easily find them on their website, you know, ulsatools.com. Takes a little while to get to here from Canada. Then the last thing is I saw like a short from, I think, Naptown Tuner popped up, and he was talking about these hyper tough pry bars. You know, obviously everyone's got a million mini pry bars, so do I. But I thought it was kind of cool that, and I'm very happy that Wilde is still making pry bars for Walmart under the Hyper Tough brand, because I've got the old red ones at home, and if I break any of them, I can get a new one with a black handle. But anyway, they're also doing these, and these are like $8 a piece, so great stocking stuffer. So I picked up one for myself because I'm, you know, a tool whore, and then I picked up another one for my brother to put in as a stocking stuffer. All right, and in wrapping up this video, in case this is news to you, these crazy Craftsman V-Series sales that they have going on right now, there's two things you can do. You can go on Lowe's.com and order it and have it shipped to you, because there's still plenty, I think, of everything in stock. But also, if you have a pretty well-stocked Lowe's, or, you know, well-run Lowe's in your area, I would definitely go there, because they probably have a whole display full of this stuff. And you can basically grab what you want. And the prices, like I said, are amazing. $30, $40, $40, $50, $20, $60 or $20 a piece, $20 a piece. Insane prices. You can't beat them anywhere. And yet they're really high quality, professional grade tools. And that's all I got for you guys today. Have a blessed Sunday. And don't forget to vote by Tuesday if you haven't voted yet. It's time to do something about the inflation in this country. I will say no more.